Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
Well, everybody, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Lots of brand new stuff on this week's show. We're going to kick things off by doing a little bear hunting just outside of the town of Cadillac in the Baldwin Bear Unit. Then we're going to head over to Gladwin, show you what was going on at the Gladwin High School recently, where they were introducing a bunch of kids to fishing and specifically fly fishing, a really cool story. And we're going to get you excited for the upcoming archery season that is literally hours away by showing you some really cool, exciting archery action. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988. Offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By Alta Equipment Company, providing sales, rentals, service, and parts because uptime matters. From earth moving to landscaping and light construction, Alta offers over 50 brands across 7 Michigan locations to serve you. More information online or 844-GO-2-ALTA.
WorkingPerson.com. From the factory floor to the job site and into the field, WorkingPerson.com supplies work boots and shoes, workwear, safety gear, and more for individuals or outfitting your whole team. Learn more at WorkingPerson.com.
DTE believes to lead, we have to do what's right. So we're tripling renewables and cutting carbon emissions in half over the next 10 years. DTE.
Here in Cadillac, in the Baldwin Bear Hunt Unit, the Nixon Family Bear Camp has become very well known. Over the years, I've had the honor of taking part in a few of the bear seasons here, and bear guide Rob Nixon and his buddy Brian Long have had many successful hunters in camp. Since my first visit in 2012, I've made some lifelong friends here at camp. This year, one of their own drew a bear tag, and the celebration seemed even more special. Brian's wife, Kelly Long, had a tag for the 2021 season, and even though she was reluctant about being on camera, I wasn't going to miss this hunt for the world.
Nixon Bear Camp.
Kelly hunted this morning and seen a bear and passed it up, and then she's going to go out tonight with you.
All right.
Shoot a big one.
So you're not really, I know for years you've been saying you're not really.
I'm trying. Nobody will let me quit.
It's like The Godfather.
Right.
Well, for this first afternoon, Rob and Brian had a good stand in mind for Kelly and I to sit in where they'd been seeing a decent boar on trail cam. The plan was to head out around 4 p.m., but Mother Nature wasn't cooperating. We were hearing rumbles of thunder, checked the radar, and decided to delay our departure a bit.
Well, we were going to go out at 4, but it's 4 o'clock and we're going to wait because there's some lightning and thunder, so we're going to wait just a little bit and see if this passes, and then we will proceed from there, and hopefully we can get her on a good bear.
Hey, we're ready for bear hunting. We're going to go kill a big one.
All right. How many years have you put in for a tag? Probably like 15,
15, 16, I would say.
It's going to be a little bit wet and there's some boggy spots, so it could get a little bit muddy, but Other than that, it's bear country, so it's down in the swamp.
It was great to be back in the bear woods here in the Baldwin unit. The Cadillac area of the unit has really grown in popularity in the last decade, and Rob says it's had an impact on the bear population here.
It's really went down. It used to had some nice bears, quality bears, and then the tags kind of kept going up, and so if you wait for 10, 13, 14 years to draw a tag, you want to shoot a bear. So we still have a lot of bears, but we just don't have a lot of multiple bears on the baits, which is fine.
Actually, this year saw quite a few sows and cubs. I had a sow with 4 cubs, I had a sow with 3 cubs, and a sow with 2 cubs. But the big boars that used to be on the baits are not there anymore.
Well, we definitely didn't see a big boar on Sunday night. In fact, we didn't see any bears at this spot like we had hoped. But spirits were still high back at camp, and friends and neighbors welcomed us to the bonfire. The next morning, Kelly was headed out to a blind where they have had quite a bit of success in years past, and we were hoping for more of the same this morning.
The backdrop will be swamp, really thick, and we go in on some high ground and then kind of drop down into the lower ground.
Have you been getting some good pictures?
Been getting some really good pictures at different times in here, so hopefully it's a great morning.
Holy cow. Well, I shot a bear.
That happened fast.
That was fast.
Wow.
Let me get this out of here.
Good shot.
Thank you.
Do you think that's the one that came in before on camera?
I don't know. It almost looked a little bigger.
Yeah, it did.
So that's why I took a shot.
Yeah. Whew. Let's see your hand. You shake it?
I don't think I'm shaking that bad.
No.
No.
Cool as a cucumber.
Okay. Holy moly.
What time is it?
Well, I gotta go look. I gotta see. 10:42.
10:42 in the morning. Usually don't bear hunt in the morning. But 15 years in the making.
Yeah. Awesome.
Good job, Cal.
Okay. Thanks.
Kelly texted Brian with the news, and after a few minutes, we couldn't contain ourselves any longer and went down to see if we could find a blood trail. The shot looked good on camera, and we had good blood. Brian showed up quickly and went into the thick to find Kelly's first Michigan bear.
We got the bear, got the bear.
He didn't go very far at all. He just went into the thick. First Michigan bear.
Holy moly. Awesome. I've been waiting for a long time for this. 15 years for this Michigan bear.
Yes.
Whew.
Get your hands on him.
Awesome.
Kelly had her hands on her bear, and her husband couldn't have been more proud.
My wife drew a tag this year, and we baited for her, and fortunately she was very successful. She shot out of the same stand and the same bait that I did last year, which was awesome. So it was pretty cool that all the hard work paid off. Rob's major scouting and all his hard work has paid off, and it's been very, very good.
The rest of the crew found us in the woods, and the celebration was underway.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
baby.
honey. Thanks, guide.
And it's getting to be more fun watching the kids and stuff that Rob is taking and helping and all that also.
It's a community effort. It's awesome. And everybody enjoys it. It's awesome.
An awesome bear camp once again. Special thanks to the Nixon family and to Brian and Kelly Long for letting me be a part of a wonderful tradition here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to change gears and head over to the Gladwin High School and show you what was recently going on there as they were introducing a bunch of kids into the world of fishing, specifically fly fishing, by showing them how to not only tie a fly, but how to cast a fly line and hook into some really nice trout along the way.
We're having a fly fishing instruction day here at Gladwin High School, and kids are learning how to do fly tying, knot tying, fish ID, casting, and then some fish ecology, all in separate sessions. And then we'll be fishing in a stock trout pond this afternoon. We're not quite sure how many years it's been, but it's been 15 or 18 years that we've been doing this now.
We're doing a little bit of fly casting here in Gladwin.
Okay.
And the ladies are practicing the overhead cast and the roll cast, and they're doing great, all four of them. We have a group of 10 that come out. Usually 5 are split up between 2 instructors. And hopefully what they learned this morning, they'll be able to duplicate this afternoon when they go to the pond to catch a few trout. So it's just a good day had by all.
When Chad Donahue told me about this day at the Gladwin High School, I had to come check it out. A day basically devoted to getting kids into fishing sounds pretty amazing, and there was a lot to see and learn here. What's a good knot that most fishermen should know?
So, common one that a lot of people use, and I teach a lot of my students, is the improved cinch knot.
Okay.
So you're taking the rope, and with your lead line, you run it through the eyelet, like so. And I'll take that hook and I'll spin it, get a good 5 to 7 twists in it. Okay? When you do that, you take that lead end and you create a little loop by the eyelet. So I'm going to take that lead end and run it through that hole. When I've done that, I've created another loop right there. I'm going to take that tail, run it back through that loop. Now I think you could cinch it down a little bit, but most of the tightening is going to be done right on your main line. I'm going to slide that down toward the eyelet, getting it all cleaned up. You want that, you don't want it nice and big and open and loose on the eyelet. You want to slide that down nice and neat. That creates a lot of strength right on that eyelet with that line, reinforcing it. And that's an improved cinch knot.
One thing that became pretty clear to me was just how important the volunteers are for a day like this to happen. Lots of help from the local fishermen and businesses made this day possible.
The reason we do that is we want to build a base on our hook. A hook is made out of steel. It's very slippery. Using that thread, it builds up a nice base so your materials don't seem to roll around on the hook. So this is what I'm going to do. Tie my thread on, right back to the bend in the hook.
This one-day event has been going on for years now, and from what Chad says, it has reached a lot of kids and a lot of volunteers as well.
We've had about the same volunteers for the length of this program, which has been many, many years, and it's impossible to do this without them. There's no way I could do it by myself. Just a lot of investment. You know, we've got a lot of years of working on the program, and there's a lot of people in those organizations that see value in what we're doing here and are great supporters. You can't thank them enough. I mean, it's been years and years and years of kids that they've benefited.
Another aspect of this program is the trout that the kids raise throughout the year as well.
We're raising rainbow trout and then various vegetables, mostly lettuce. And I had a student last year that loved radishes, so we did a lot of radishes last year. And then we consume those in the spring.
These fish are basically for us to eat, and we're going to grow them up, we're going to eat some of them, and then we're just going to donate them back to the pond that we originally got them from. And we keep this area clean by taking this pump that we have here. It pumps the water into these 2 barrels that we have back here, and those barrels are filled with onion bags and a bunch of other just stuff that actually filters out the water.
So what we have here is our lettuce farm. We're growing little lettuce seeds right now inside, and when they get a little bit bigger, we're going to put them in flat cups and set them in a styrofoam. And so they have constant water, and once they're done growing in here, we can eat them along with our trout in that pool. And the water filters through the back here, and it turns around like a current kind of, and then once it's done filtering through here, it exits back into the trout pool.
Wow, so fish and salad.
Yes, quite the combination.
So the big part of the day was loading the kids up and heading a few miles down the road to a locally owned trout pond. Once the kids were off the bus, they tied on the flies they made earlier and got right to fishing.
Oh, they're coming right up in. Look at that rainbow right there. Yeah, I see it. Come in, man.
Nice. Very nice.
Wrong way, mister.
What do you think about this class of yours?
I really think it's important for somebody to take a class like this just because it's not giving you just what other classes are going to give you. A bunch of numbers and stuff like that you won't use later in life. A lot of this you can come back to using this later in life, even if you don't want to be a conservationist or anything like that. Just teaches you a lot of good skills.
Nice.
And plus, what other class do you get to go fly fishing in? Can't deny that part.
I had a chance to catch up with Tracy Page from the DNR, who was also on hand today, and had her talk a little bit about why a day like this is so important.
I kind of work statewide, and I run the Salmon in the Classroom program, but I also am kind of the filter between our biologists and all the hard science and all our educators and the public, trying to filter that science and get it out to everybody.
Awesome. And what do you think of a day like today?
Oh, this is fabulous to put it into practice. You know, they can learn fish ID in the classroom or, you know, how to tie flies, but if they can't put it into practice, it doesn't translate to the real world. So if we want to turn them into fishers, we need to get them out in practice.
Are there a lot of schools doing stuff like this?
We have about 300 schools in Salmon in the Classroom, and I would say well over half get the kids out fishing at least once or twice.
And that's important because why?
Very important. So that's what we're trying to build is stewards of the environment, right? So if they don't have a connection, they're not going to go out and use it and appreciate it. So if we can make the connection now when they're younger and they can keep that for a lifetime, that's going to benefit everybody, right? And they're going to be stewards for a lifetime.
Have you caught a fish before?
No.
That's your first fish?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
There were quite a few backcasts today into trees and maybe even a power line or two, but overall, everyone was having a great time.
It's a great day. This is a fabulous program for the kids. This is our 17th year doing this with Gladwin High School, and it started in the Outback room at Jay's Sporting Goods and then migrated to Gladwin High School several years ago. And it's more involvement all the time with groups, TU, a lot of sales reps show up. It's just a great program, and then it's a great opportunity for the kids to enjoy a day outside.
Yeah, how does this make you feel to see all these kids out here?
I love every bit of it. This is a great deal.
17 years at roughly 50 kids per year, that's just under 900 kids that were able to tie a fly and catch a fish here in Gladwin. Thanks to all that made this happen, and let's hope many of these kids become lifelong sportsmen and women here in the great state of Michigan.
Well, if you're watching this week's show on Thursday, it is the night before the opening day of archery season here in Michigan, a day that many hunters around the state, including myself, wait for all year. So to wrap up this week's show, we're going to take a look back at a couple of my favorite bow hunts from last year.
Absolutely incredible night in the tree. Just passed up another great buck. One that I have a couple pictures of, but not many. A huge brow tines, really cool looking deer. Again, just not quite what I'm looking for, but man, I had my heart thumping. That was a nice buck. Well, that's going to be a tough one to get over. Had him within 50 yards and finally got a shot opportunity and drew back, and right as I was getting ready to squeeze the trigger, I mean like pressure on the trigger, he took a couple steps and then his doe kind of took off and he went with her. I have to sleep on it. I'm sure I'll feel a little better tomorrow, but that stings. Passed up a lot of bucks this year, had a lot of really good hunts, basically waiting for one of two bucks. He was one of them.
Britt.
I think I just absolutely smoked a giant 10-point. If it's the buck I'm thinking of, I have both his sheds from last year. I passed him up multiple times as what I thought was a good 2-year-old. I've been hoping all year I would see him.
Man, it is a great feeling to fill a Michigan buck tag here, and to do it on a buck of this caliber it's really something special.
It's been a fun late season here in southern Michigan. I've done a decent amount of hunting, almost all still hunting. I was trying really hard to film myself shoot one with a bow on the ground while still hunting. Had lots of opportunities to let an arrow fly, but trying to do it with a camera on a tripod has proven to be harder than I thought it would be. So it's probably my last hunt of the year. Obviously 2020 has been kind of a wild year, but it's been a great deer season, and thankful for one more night in the timber. I think I just got it done with a bow. Unbelievable.
Like I said earlier, it's been a weird year, but it has been a good deer season, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity to hunt again here in Michigan and another successful bull hunt. So it was a great year, and here's to next year.
Well, hopefully that footage there will get you excited for the upcoming archery season. If you're watching this on Thursday night, the bow season starts tomorrow. So good luck to everybody that will be hitting the field. Make sure you are joining us over the next couple of weeks as everything gets rolling here in the great state of Michigan. There is so much to bring you. We're going to do our best to try to have as much brand new stuff as we can. Thanks so much for watching this week. And if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone. Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
By Greenmark Equipment. Greenmark Equipment is a John Deere dealership network in southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. Greenmark provides sales and services to farmers, commercial businesses, large property owners, and homeowners. Information about pricing and products available can be found online at greenmarkequipment.com.
By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows, manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan. G5 offers a line of archery bows, broadheads, and accessories. On the web at g5outdoors.com.
DTE believes to lead, we have to do what's right. So we're tripling renewables and cutting carbon emissions in half over the next 10 years. DTE.
Closed captioning provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. Ah, Michigami, win, win, a song.